Hello students, in this lecture we are going to start a new topic, that is the S-block elements, right? Okay, so what are the S-block elements? Generally you know that in the periodic table those are located at the left side of the modern periodic table. Okay, and why we call them as a S-block elements is that the elements which are present in the S-block elements, why we call it is that the simple thing, that is whatever that the last electron enters into the outermost s orbital. Okay, so that is the reason why we call them as a S-block elements. Okay, that means the coming electron, the outermost, whatever that electron, the coming electron will enter into the s orbital. That is the reason we called it as a S-block elements. Okay, and how many types? The S-blocks are generally two, that is a group 1 and group 1 and group 2 element. That simply you can call as a 1a and 2a. Okay, so what is the 1a group of elements? That you know that there is a first a group of elements and second a group, right? Okay, so the first a group of elements are lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium and francium. Okay, and the second a group of elements is beryllium, magnesium, calcium, strontium, barium and radium. Okay, you know that these are the groups and simply these are the periods. These are the periods. Okay, right. And now we can see that generally the first group 1 of the periodic table consists of the elements lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium and francium. Okay, and they are also called it as a alkali metals. Okay, why they call the alkali metals is that because they form hydroxide on reaction with the water, which are strongly alkaline in nature. Okay, that means whatever that first a group of elements, when they are reacted with the water, they can produce the hydroxides. And these hydroxides are very strong. They have very strong alkaline nature. Alkaline means strong basic nature. Okay, so that is the reason why they call it as this first a group of elements, they called as alkali metals. Okay, and come to the next group, that is the elements of group 2 includes beryllium, magnesium, calcium, strontium, barium and radium, and these elements are commonly known as alkaline earth metals. Okay, so the difference is earth. Okay, these are so called because their oxides and hydroxides are alkaline in nature. Okay, so why they called as alkaline earth metals is that these can also produce the hydroxides. That is the reason why alkaline. Okay, but again why they introduced earth is that most of them, those are available, they are abundant in the earth crust. Okay, ఇవి ఎర్త్ క్రస్ట్ లోపల అవైలబుల్ ఉంటాయి అన్నమాట. ఓకే, సో దాట్ ఈస్ ద రీజన్ వై దే కాల్ ఇట్ యాజ్ ఏ ఆల్కలైన్. దిస్ ఈజ్ ఆల్కలైన్ ఎర్త్ metals. They call it as a alkaline earth metals. Okay, right. And again among the alkali metals, first a group, okay, sodium and potassium are the most abundant. Okay, abundant means they are available, more abundant, and that means they are more available in the nature. Okay, while lithium, rubidium and cesium, okay, and those have much lower abundances. That we can see somewhere in the table 9.1. Okay, and next last element, the francium, is highly radioactive. Okay, what we call it as a radioactive is that because when it is dissociate and produce lot of gamma radiation, beta radiations. Okay, so those elements you call it as a radioactive. And in the first a group of elements, francium is the radioactive element. Okay, right. And of the alkaline earth metal, come to the alkaline earth metal. Again, calcium and magnesium are the fifth and sixth abundant elements in the earth crust. Already I told you the second A group of elements are available in the earth crust. Okay, so again in the earth crust, what is that? The calcium. What is that? The calcium and magnesium. Okay, so this calcium occupied the 5th rank and the magnesium with the 6th rank. Okay, 5th and 6th abundant elements which are present in the earth crust. Okay, right. And what about the others? That is the strontium, barium have much lower abundances. And again in that, beryllium is a rare and radium is the rarest of all the comparison only. That means again calcium, magnesium, calcium are very highly abundant. Nature లో అవి చాలా ఎక్కువగా ఎర్త్ క్రస్ట్ లో మెయిన్ గా ఎక్కువగా ఉంటాయి అన్నమాట. బట్ కమ్ టు ద స్ట్రాన్షియం బేరియం, దే ఆర్ అవైలబుల్ ఇన్ అ వెరీ రేర్. But come to the radium, again it is the rarest, it is a rarest element available in the abundant in the nature. Okay, now we are going to start a group 1 first. Okay, first we will discuss the group 1 elements and next we can go to the group 2 elements. Okay, so in this group 1 elements, what we are going to see is that the alkali metal shows regular trends. So in this we are going to discuss some physical and chemical properties. Chemical and physical properties. Okay, so that those physical and chemical properties we can see in our notes, right? Okay, yeah, come to the physical properties. In that, the first one is the electronic configuration. Electronic configuration, it's all about the first A group of elements. It is all about first A group of elements. Okay, so what is the general electronic configuration for the first A group of elements? It is ns1. It is ns1. Okay, because it has a only one electron, free electron, that is in the s group of s black elements. Okay, and the next parameter is that atomic as well as the ionic radius, AR and IR. Okay, just for the short term I am mentioning atomic radius as well as the ionic radius. Okay, generally these elements have biggest radii in periodic table. Biggest radii periodic table, because you know that in the periodic table from left to right, suppose you assume it is a periodic table, and you know that from left to right in a period, from left to right the atomic radius decreases, right? So that means here are the bigger one, here are the bigger elements and here is the small elements, here is the small elements can be present. Okay, so that means overall the left side elements, the left side elements are generally those are bigger in size of the periodic table. Okay, that means in this period here it is the bigger one, and coming to the next period here it is the big one, and the next period here it is the big one, and next period here it is the big one. So that simply you can say that the overall the first A group of elements generally they have a biggest radii in a periodic table. Okay, again in that from the down the group, the atomic radius increases, the atomic radius increases. Okay, that's already you know, right? Generally in the periodic table from down the group the atomic radius, come to that lithium to cesium. Generally here the lithium has a small size and sodium little bigger and potassium little bit some more bigger, and rubidium come to the cesium, it is much bigger. Because why that atomic radius increases is that from top to bottom the shell, the number of shells increases, okay, because of the addition of the new shells, right? Okay, and you know that generally these metals can lose one electrons, or it can lose only one electron, because the electronic configuration is only ns1, and it loses that electron and forms the cation, right? Okay, so that means simply, so the first A group of elements simply you assume it is a metal and loses the one electron and convert it into a M plus, whether it is a sodium or potassium are a lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, whatever the cesium. Okay, and it form a monovalent cation, monopositive cation, monopositive cation. Okay, so this cation you call it as a ion, right? Simply, whether the ion, it may be a cation or it may be an anion. Okay, it is simply you say that if it has a positive charge on it, you say it as a cation, and if it has a negative charge, you can say that anion, but overall it is a ion. Okay, and what about this ion radius? What about this ion radius? The ionic radius, generally from the corresponding metal, when it loses the electron, the corresponding metal ion radius, here the radius decreases. Okay, if suppose the metal has this much of size and come to the M plus, it has a little bit lesser in size, because when it loses the one electron, the center, whatever the positive charge is there, right, that will attract the electron cloud very strongly. Okay, so that the ionic radius, when it loses the electron, the radius will be decreases, the radius will become decreases. Okay, and again these compared to the ionic radius, when you compare the ionic radius, okay, from the lithium plus, generally the lithium radius is bigger than the lithium plus. Here I am talking about the radius. And any metal you take the sodium, generally it has a high radius than the corresponding cation. But again in the lithium plus, sodium plus, and potassium plus, and rubidium plus, and cesium plus, which one has a, what will be the tendency? The ionic, simply you call it as a ionic radius. Okay, generally you know that from top to bottom, again the metallic, whatever the atomic radius increases, similarly the ionic radius also increases, so that the lithium plus is the smallest one and the cesium plus is the biggest in ionic radius, Okay, so that is what here, from down the group, again the ionic radius increases because of addition of the new cells. And okay, and come to the comparison, generally the size of the monovalent cations are lesser than the corresponding metal. Okay, and the third one is the ionization enthalpy. What is that ionization enthalpy? The energy required to remove the electron from the outermost orbital of a particular element in the gaseous state. Okay, so that means here the energy required to remove the electron from the outermost shell. Okay, so generally in the first group here, this first year group of elements has the lowest ionization enthalpy in the modern periodic table. Okay, because in the modern periodic table, these are at the very left and it contains only one electron, and when it loses this electron, it will get the noble gas configuration, right? What is the noble gas configuration? It is a stable gas configuration. Okay, so that is the reason why it loses this electron very fastly and convert into the a very stable element, Okay, so here it is losing electron very fastly, means the energy required to remove the electron is less, the energy is very less. Okay, so that is the reason why in a periodic table these have a lowest ionization enthalpies in the modern periodic table. Again from top to bottom, from down the group, what will happen? The ionization enthalpies decreases because increase in the size. Okay, so why is that? Because here it is a smaller one, and that you assume it is a lithium, and a sodium it is a little bit bigger, and potassium is again bigger. you assume cesium is a much bigger in size. So here it is a center, positive charge will be present, and what is that? The ionization enthalpy. The ionization enthalpy is nothing but to remove the electron from the outermost shell. Okay, so in this from top to bottom, what will happen? The size is increasing. The size is increasing. Okay, so you see here there is a positive charge, and the distance from the positive charge to negative charge, here it is a less, and here it is a little bit bigger, and here it is again little bit bigger, and here it is a very high. Okay, so here what is happened? The positive and negative are very close to each other, and here the positive and negative are little bit away to each other. Okay, so where the removal of electron is easy? In the cesium, because the positive charge is little bit away, so that you can easily remove the or you can easily break the attractions between the positive and negative charge, so that you can easily remove the electron. But here the positive and negative are very close to each other, and so that the attractions are very high, so that you need to supply more energy to break that electron. Okay, so that is the reason here you require the more energy, and here it requires the less energy. Okay, already you know, but again I am telling, so that from top to bottom the ionization enthalpies decreases. Okay, right. And what about the next parameter? The hydration. The next parameter is the hydration enthalpy. What is the hydration enthalpy? The hydration enthalpy is nothing but the energy released when 1 mole of an ion is dissolved in water to get it hydrated is called as hydration enthalpies. Hydration enthalpies. Okay. So generally in the in the first year group of elements, from down the group, generally from down the group, the hydration enthalpies decreases because of the increase in the ionic sizes, Okay, so how you will understand is that here you see the energy released when 1 mole of an ion is dissolved in water. So why they release the energy? According to, you know, that bond making and bond breaking, you know that. So for the bond breaking you need to supply the energy, and where it releases the energy? In the bond making. అంతే కదా, బాండ్స్ ఫామ్ అయితే ఎనర్జీ రిలీజ్ అవుతుంది. అదే బాండ్ బ్రేక్ చేయాలంటే యూ నీడ్ టు సప్లై ద ఎనర్జీ. ఓకే, ఇక్కడ ఎనర్జీ రిలీజ్ అవుతుంది అని అంటున్నాడు. ఏంటి? ఆ అయాన్, పర్టికులర్ అయాన్ని వాటర్లో వేసినప్పుడు. ఎందుకు? బికాజ్ మేబీ ఇట్ ఈస్ ఫార్మింగ్ సమ్ కైండ్ ఆఫ్ న్యూ బాండ్స్. సో ఆ కొత్త బాండ్స్ ఏర్పడడం వల్ల ఇది ఎనర్జీని రిలీజ్ చేస్తుంది అన్నమాట. ఓకే, సో వాట్ కైండ్ ఆఫ్ బాండ్స్? దోస్ ఆర్ వెరీ సింపుల్. దోస్ ఆర్ ద డైపోల్ induced to dipole, okay, or else dipole interactions. That means if suppose sodium plus ion, you are dissolved into the water. Okay, when you place that sodium plus ion into the water, what will happen? Here it is a positive charge is there, so that you know that the water is a polar one, and here you can get the partial negative charge, and here you get the partial positive charge. Okay, so that the positive and the negative here it is already dipole, and here it is again a dipole, and there is a possibility of formation of the attractions between the dipole and dipole. సో ఇక్కడ ఏమవుతుంది? కొత్తగా కొంత అట్రాక్షన్స్ డెవలప్ అవుతున్నాయి, అంటే కొంత బాండ్ అనేది ఫామ్ అవుతుంది. దట్ మీన్స్ ఇయర్ ఇట్ రిలీజ్ ద ఎనర్జీ. ఓకే, మరి కంపారిజన్, వెన్ యూ కమ్ టు ద కంపారిజన్, లిథియం ప్లస్ ఉంది స్మాల్ ఇన్ సైజ్, అండ్ సోడియం ప్లస్ ఉంది లిటిల్ బిట్ బిగ్గర్ ఇన్ సైజ్, and cesium plus undi, this is again little bit bigger in, here it is the biggest in size. Okay, so now when you dissolve into the water, so where the attractions are strong, where the attractions can be strong, simply the attractions can be strong between the water and the lithium, because the lithium is a very small in size, so that it develops a very strong attractions with the oxygen. But come to the cesium, already cesium is a very big in size, cesium plus, and the water is somewhere here, and you see here there is a lot large electronic cloud, and that will stop the attractions between the water and cesium plus ions. Okay, so that is the reason here the attractions are less and here the attractions are very strong. Okay, here is the weak and here is the strong. So whenever the bond is strong, it releases the more energy, and here is the weak bond, so that here it is forming a very weak bond, so that it releases less energy. Okay, so that is what I am saying, from top to bottom the hydration enthalpies decreases because of increase in the ionic radius, increase in the ionic radius. Okay, right, this is about the hydration energy. Okay, and among all that, which one has a high hydration enthalpy? Generally the lithium has a high hydration enthalpy because of the small in size. Okay, so the lithium plus ions has a maximum degree of hydration, so its salts are mostly available in the hydrated form. Okay, so because of that small size, what will happen, these salts also available in the nature in the form of the hydrated form. Hydrated form అంటే ఏంటి, దాంతో పాటుగా ఇంకా కొన్ని వాటర్ మాలిక్యూల్స్ అనేవి కంబైన్ అయి ఉంటాయి అన్నమాట. ఓకే, సో ఎందుకు, బికాస్ ద అట్రాక్షన్స్ బిట్వీన్ ద లిథియం అండ్ వాటర్ ఈస్ అ లిటిల్ బిట్ స్ట్రాంగర్, సో దట్ దే కెనాట్ లీవ్ దట్ మచ్ ఆఫ్ easily. Okay, this is all about the hydration energy. Okay, and next come to the melting and boiling points. Melting and boiling points. Okay, so generally the melting points and boiling points are very low, quite low, because of the single valence electron. Single valence electron, you know that the first year group of element generally it has only one valence electron. That is the reason why its melting and boiling points are very very low. Okay, again from the down the group, the melting and boiling points decreases because of the weak metal to metal bonds. Weak metal to metal bonds. Okay, how you can describe is that very simple. You have a metal, suppose you take the sodium and it has a one electron in the outermost shell, and there is a one more sodium. Generally there is a possibility of the formation of the metal metal bond. Metal metal bond, you call it as a metal metal bonds. Okay, and this depends on the number of electrons, the attractions between the electron between the positive charge and electron between the positive charge. Of course you are not in a level to understand this, but the thing is that from top to bottom the metal metal bond will become weaker. So when they are weaker, obviously you can cleave that one very easily, so that the melting points and boiling points decreases from down the group. Okay, now come to the next one, softness. You know what is the softness. Okay, generally these metals are very very soft, so even you can cut with the knife. Okay, even you can cut with the knife. Okay, and these are lightweight. These are lightweight. Okay, and that is the reason why these are malleable. Malleable means you can convert that into the thin sheets like a paper. Paper is nothing but a very thin sheet, right? Okay, so very similar to that, you can convert this into the thin sheets. Those are malleable, and not only the malleable, those are ductile. Ductile means you can convert that into the small wires. Okay, so these, that much of soft these metals are. Okay, and the next one is the density. Coming to the density, so generally these elements has the low density in a periodic table, lowest density in the periodic table because of the large in size. Already in the atomic radius we have discussed, first year group of elements has a large in size. Okay, you know the density is nothing but the weight by volume. Okay, if the volume is high, obviously the density become very less. Okay, so that is the reason you can say that these, for the first year group of elements, the density is a very very low, and again from top to the bottom, what will happen, the size increasing, obviously the density, so from down the group the density increases because the mass increases compared to the volume, the mass increases more compared to the volume. The mass is nothing but the number of protons and number of neutrons increases more. Okay, so when the mass increases, the density increases. Okay, so that is the reason why lithium to cesium the density increases, but there is a one exception. Generally the potassium density should be higher than the sodium, but the sodium density is more than the potassium because of the abnormal increase in the size of the potassium. Okay, that you will understand later, don't worry. And the next one is the magnetic nature. Next one is magnetic nature. Generally these metals are paramagnetic in nature. Okay, because they have one unpaired electron in the valence shell. They have one unpaired of electron in the valence shell. Okay, that is the reason they are generally in the paramagnetic in nature. Okay, and the next important, very important, is the flame coloration, flame test. Okay, so what is this flame test? Is that when the alkali metals burned in the flame, Bunsen burner. Okay, that's generally available in the laboratory. And when you place that metal on the flame, you can see a very characteristic color for the each and every element. అంటే ప్రతి ఎలిమెంట్ కూడా ఒక డిఫరెంట్ కలర్ ని చూపెడుతుంది అన్నమాట when they are burned in the flame. Okay, so ఏంటి కలర్స్ అని అంటే those are lithium generally shows the crimson red color, and the sodium shows the yellow color, potassium shows the violet color, rubidium shows the red violet, and cesium shows the blue color. Okay, so that imparts the color to the flame. Okay, that means మీరు సోడియం ని గనుక మీరు ఫ్లేమ్ లో బర్న్ చేశారు అనుకోండి, మీరు సోడియం ప్లేస్ చేయంగానే ఏమవుతుంది, ఆ ఫ్లేమ్ అనేది ఎల్లోగా బర్న్ అవుతుంది అన్నమాట. ఓకే, అదే మీరు పొటాషియం కనుక పెట్టారనుకోండి, ద ఫ్లేమ్ బర్న్స్ ఇన్ ద violet color. Okay, so that is the reason why generally these alkali metals can be detected by the flame test. Okay, మీరు different metals ఉన్నాయి మీ దగ్గర, and now you have to find out which one is the potassium and which one is the sodium. Very simple, you take a little piece of sodium and you place on the flame, and you can see the yellow coloration for the flame. Yellow color ga adi mandutundi annamata. So with that you can say that okay, this metal is the sodium, okay. What is that technology? That you call it as a flame photometry, okay. And the last one is that photoelectric effect. Right now it is not the very big topic. Just you understand is that due to the low ionization enthalpies, these metals, especially the cesium, exhibit the photoelectric effect means it can easily excite the electron that is present in the cesium, and while coming back it releases the lot of radiations. Okay, so that they use it in the photoelectric cells. What they can use? Cesium they use it in the photoelectric cells. This is important. Okay, what the metal they'll use used in the photoelectric cell, that is the cesium. They'll use it in the photoelectric cells. Okay, so this is all about the physical properties. Okay, in the next lecture we are going to see the chemical properties. Okay.